Right, it appears that I am live. Apologies. What a nightmare. Restream has decided it's not playing today. Hello, Willow.
Hello there.
I don't see anyone in the chat as yet, so I'm wondering if
I don't see anyone watching.
Yeah, I know what you call it. I have a feeling that everyone is over on the original live stream. Because, you know.
Do we tell them to go over?
Well, I'm going to try and figure out now. See if I can. I don't know where the link to this. Oh, we've got 2 people watching.
Tell them to go. Tell everyone else to go and watch the stream.
Go to the channel page. Yeah, go to the channel page, folks. Back upstream there. Oh, what a nightmare. Right, I'm here. I see Sam, so someone's here. Hello, Sam. How are you doing, mate? Right, in true typical style. Yeah, Restream decided it's not working today. And I'm getting like a bad gateway error.
Now. We've got more.
Yeah, more are coming on. What a nightmare. What an absolute nightmare. But I am here. I am streaming. I'm sorry about this, guys. Yeah, I mean, what can you do with the technology? Do you know what I mean? Cool tips for a graveyard board. Ooh. Add lots of grey to your colours to desaturate it down, mate. Right, let me drag this window across to here so you're not staring at the side of my face. That's better. Right, fingers crossed people will find us. If you can go back to wherever you were chatting before and just give people a shout to let them know that, yeah, YouTube is doing its typical play up thing. Yeah. Or not YouTube today. It's Restream today. What an absolute nightmare. I'm trying, you know what I mean? And it's just been like streaming lately. It's just been a nightmare. And it annoys me with me not putting out videos with working on the book because it's my one way of connecting with you folks. Lost everything here. Just got back on. I know, Kat. I know. Hello, darling. Oh, it's out your hands. Don't worry about it. Folks who watch are good people. That everyone understands. I know, Joanne's, but it's just annoying. You know what I mean? Yeah, extraterrestrial badger. Yeah.
Why do I feel like
Sam.
Mom in disguise?
You got back. Yeah, I managed to get back on, but like I say, Restream is playing up, so I've had to revert to just going straight for like streaming via the webcam on YouTube. So I'm not streaming to Twitch right now. I'm not streaming to Facebook, and I've got none of my usual graphics and that sort of stuff. But I just wanted to get on, yeah, in some way, and just show you like I am here. I say terrain, you say tutor. I say words. Tutor. Bah, bah, bah. Right, watch this. I'll move over to there. Just got to get these right. So yeah, I have been rather annoyed today. Yeah, been doing studio work, working on texturing. Yeah, got everything I needed to do, and I just needed to get home because it'd been a long day in the studio. And so I decided we'll do the stream from home. And then lo and behold, Restream. Yeah. But as well as that, I've been working on the material section. Yeah, which is all of that.
Forging signatures.
I'm not. How can I be forging my own signature?
No, I mean, like, they could forge yours.
Well, it sort of defeats the object of having a signed book, doesn't it?
Yeah, but like, if they get a book that isn't signed, like, one sticker's left, they can copy it in and sell it.
There you go. Hey, Tam.
Hey Mel, how many of those signatures match?
Yeah, everyone's saying don't beat myself up about it. It's just annoying because I am aware that I'm not engaging as much as I should. My signatures do match close enough. When you're doing about 5,000, yeah, they're never exactly the same. There's some where my surname just looks like a number 2.
Oh no. When we go on a break, can I just stick a picture of Pokemon on the camera?
No, you can't. Because I don't have copyright for it.
That's not copyright.
It is.
What is it?
Because it's owned by the people who own Pokemon. Who is that, Nintendo? Or is it another Japanese?
Nickelodeon, I think.
Nickelodeon own Pokemon, do they?
Oh God, you got me intrigued now.
Well, go find out for me. So yes, Mel's been a ridiculously busy boy, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, a bit too busy. But I've just got to get everything done. I'm not saying I underestimated the workload of the book. 1 second, Duck. But I think it's fair to say that I underestimated all the other little jobs around it and the family stuff and all that sort of stuff, which means I'm just having to go really hard at it. But we will do it, and we will be on time.
Who owns Pokemon?
The Pokemon Company's parent organizations are Nintendo, Game Freak, and Creatures.
Oh, yeah, Nintendo. So, another stack done. Nintendo and Game Freak for Pokemon the same. Right.
Thank you, Google.
Right.
Like father, like daughter.
You're still good, Mel. I will get there. You know what I mean? It's a hiccup on the road. I think that's fair to say. You know, the channel's had lots of hiccups along the way, and I do know that it's just for a short period of time. And I have got stuff coming out.
If Pokemon was invented on a Friday, would it be Pokefry? Come on, you're the smart one. Let's see you answer it, would it?
I don't know, because I don't know whether the Monday Mon referenced Monday with
Well,
it being
it did come out on
Japanese.
Monday.
Yeah, it's Japanese, so wouldn't it be in the Japanese language?
Well, it's translating.
Yeah. Right. Let's have a
If
look.
you don't know, we have.
Shall we throw up the question doc? Because I think the link's down below. Let me just open that up if people have got questions. Okay. I mean, fingers crossed for Sunday, everything will be working. Yeah, if you've got any questions for me, yeah, you can either ask me in the chat because there's not masses of people here tonight because of the screw up. Yeah, or you can jump down below and throw them into the Google Doc. I've got it open there, so we'll be able to see them. Yeah, and I'll do my best to help you with what you need to know. And in the meantime,
hello there.
What?
Should have put in the chat saying hello there.
It's Pocket Monsters Pokemon. Ah, right, okay. Got you.
Wait. Is that why they fit into a Pokeball and then they go in your pocket?
Mel, since the header only says Sunday Q&A, are you going to stop Thursdays or is it just a now and then? No, I adjusted the header while we were going through the, the Kickstarter. I just haven't changed it. Yeah. So Thursdays will continue. That's the plan. Yeah, as I am here on Thursday. I may not be in the studio because I've been in the studio all day, but What?
You haven't gone all day.
I've been in the studio before you came back from school, young lady, so don't be giving me grief.
Oh.
Have you finished your drawing up?
Yeah.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, we were only meant to draw the small ones.
Yeah. Getting shades off the girl.
Yeah, 35, 39 watching.
Oh, there's people watching. That's the main thing. Yeah, I got a question, Mel. Go for it, Christopher. Take your feet off my chair. You're rocking me backwards and forwards. Mel, the link for the doc. Oh, of course, the link for the doc isn't showing up because of where I've gone for. I've got to use the YouTube straight webcam streaming and not my usual way of streaming. Right, just ask them in the chat, guys. Just fire them in the chat. We've got a nice sort of condensed little show here, so I'll spot them. Any tips on toughening up plaster of Paris? Skip plaster of Paris, mate. Yeah, go for something called Crystal R. Yeah, okay. Thank you, darling. Go for something called Crystal R. Crystal R is a casting powder used in making slip molds in glass firing, and it's about 100 times stronger than plaster of Paris. Okay, so just don't try and toughen it up. Skip straight over to a different casting material. If you have already cast with plaster of Paris, or plaster of Paris is all you've got, you can throw some PVA in replace of a bit of the water when you mix it up, or you can give it a brush with watered down PVA, and that will soak into the plaster of Paris piece, yeah, and sort of harden it and give it a plastic coating. Yeah, so if you've only got plaster of Paris, if you haven't mixed it yet, throw a bit of PVA in with the mix. If you have mixed it and cured it, but you need to toughen it up after you've demolded it, once it's completely dry, yeah, brush on probably a one part PVA to say 3 parts water, give or take. Yeah, and then brush that on and let it soak up. I mean, you can dunk pieces into it. And then finally, yeah, if you haven't even bought your plaster of Paris yet, go and have a look for Crystal R. Yeah, it's a hell of a lot stronger. You can demold it in 15 minutes. Yeah, it's just a better casting powder. How do I get a signed book? You need to be on the Kickstarter or jump onto the backer kit, mate. I would say links down below, but we know they're not going to be there, don't we?
It is.
What, the link to the Kickstarter is below?
Well, yeah. Well, I'll check now for you.
Because I can't post the links via this screen. It won't let me on this one.
Oh.
Hey, Odin.
Yeah.
Hey, people are building up and people are finding us now. Hello, folks. If you're a new joiner, the technology gods of the internet are against us tonight. And Restream has decided to screw up. Hence, we're doing it this way and we're not on Twitch and Facebook. But I am here and I'm trying to do my best for you. Yes, darling.
You pledge $1 on Patreon. You donate to PayPal, your studio kit list, your Terrainiacs Facebook, and Stephen Silverwood.
Right, so not what you call it.
No.
Okay.
Nothing else on there.
Right. So now we know. So ask your questions in there. Rusted. What are your thoughts on UV resin? What do you mean by UV resin? Are you talking about resins that cure through UV, or are you talking about resins that you can use with a black light to give off light at night, giving off a glow? Clarify your question. Oh, the UV curing resins. I've got some glue that cures by UV. Yeah. What's the benefit? Do you mean, okay, it's a bit quicker, but it's really, really expensive stuff. UV cured resins. I mean, it's a spin-off from dentistry, where they use, when they do your teeth and they do the light in it to harden it really quickly. Steve saying, already cast the stuff up. The bag was mislabeled. Right, mate. In which case, just give it a good brush on with watered down PVA. That'll nail that for you.
I have PVA in my room.
Chris was saying, I met someone exactly like you at my work experience.
Don't tell me if that's fake.
Same name and sounds just like you. Won't be me, mate, because I haven't met anyone at my any work experience.
Dad. That faker's joining work. He's coming back.
How do I get a signed potato? Rusted's asking. My best suggestion is to pick up a potato and sign it, mate.
No, Dad, just send me to them.
Write
your signature on my forehead. I'm a potato.
Mel, what was your worst terrain? Well, I just messed that up so bad. This is now trash moment.
Dad's just staring at Ozzy like...
No, I'm just thinking. I don't know, to be truthful. It's very in fact, I really struggle to think of a piece where I've messed something up so badly that it's been in the bin. I very rarely throw terrain pieces away like that. They normally go on the shelf for testing, testing new techniques on and that sort of stuff. So I don't know. I genuinely don't know on that one.
I'm done with my
I mean, there's
vote.
been odd things when, at the start where I've messed up a cut and I've had to recut a piece and that sort of stuff. But generally, once I'm into the build, it's very rare you can actually do something that can knacker things up completely. You know what I mean? Right.
The first comment.
Yeah. Can't. In a second. Chill. Or I'll have to take you off the stream. Yeah, you can try sucking up to me, but that doesn't work.
Father up. I forgot his chair moved so quickly.
Mal, I'm burning my way through an MDF village, and I have a question on basing the buildings. I want to include vegetable gardens on smaller houses. Best done separately or on the same base? Best done separately, mate, or to be added to. Right, what are you messing around with tripods for?
I'm moving now because I keep banging my feet on it.
Right, yeah, it's best adding gardens and stuff separately as a piece that you can nudge up. One, yeah, it makes storage a lot easier. Yeah, if you think about it, yeah, if you've got a house, diagram time. Yeah, right. If you have a house like that, yeah, that's got. Keep that away from me. Yeah, you got a house like that and you've got your garden in the back with vegetable patch and all that sort of stuff. That's actually quite awkward to store because it's got quite a large base. Secondly, such a long strip that's unsupported, yeah, that's going to be prone to warping, or if it's stacked improperly or dropped, it's going to snap around there. Yeah, so the best option is to come up with your gardens separately, yeah, and have them so they can fit nice and flush up against your buildings. That way, when it comes to that way, there's nothing to break, nothing to warp. And when it comes to storing them, instead of that, what you end up with, yeah, is something stored much like, put it in the box and the house there, and then you can slide in the garden down the side of it. Yeah, so I do back gardens separately, mate. Yeah, because they will just be a lot less problematic. Also, building them, the actual house will get in the way of getting around and doing details. So if you do them separately, yeah, they're just a nice little small flat bit with a bit of a wall round and take it from there. Any tips on modeling weather tanks? Weathering model tanks. No, not my field, and I don't pretend to. I don't pretend for it to be my field. You know what I mean? Oh, Odin's off a Vikinging soon. Nice one, dude. If you mess up a terrain base, hack it up, repurpose it, no more mess up. Yeah. When it comes to mess up, it's very rare you can knacker a terrain piece so much that you can't pull it back. Yeah, Kat, that's a good idea. If you do have a question for me, so I do spot them, just type question, yeah, or just put a couple of question marks at the start of the question, so it's easy for me to spot in the chat, guys. Herbert Urbaderp, he's really good at vehicle weathering. No worries, Mac.
Thank you, Kat. I'm
not even sure what's being discussed here. We rarely are, to be truthful, mate. You will notice, though, look at this. Look at this. I've got to put some little things covering these holes. Yeah, but look at the comfort of that chair.
It sinks in and it's mine.
Get off my chair. Get off my chair.
Yeah.
Off.
But father and mine.
I don't care, daughter of mine. This is my chair.
But it's my turn.
Oh.
No, if you get shot at, you're not gonna brag.
Right. Mel, got to use your ideas on the green stuff, Will. Mel, got to use your ideas on the green stuff. Will, textures and dance. Nice one, mate. Nice one. I have a block of air dry clay which dried out and is solid. Can I still use it for anything? If it's terracotta, smash it up. It'll make great rubble. If it's the normal sort of stuff, you can smash it up and add it to your aggregates, your grit mixes. But to be truthful, the moment you hit it, once it's smashed up, the moment you hit it with watered down PVA, you're going to have problems. So I'd just bin it.
Gary's got a question.
I can see that by the way he's written question at the front of it.
I'm just gonna put my hand up whenever someone's got a question.
Your hand's going to be up a lot, innit? All right then. Question. Some time ago you mentioned getting in touch with FFG regarding doing some Star Wars Legion style terrain. Had any luck with that? Yeah, actually I have.
The chair will be stolen by Willow, Corbin, or Roz. Mostly
No,
Roz.
it won't. It's my chair. But with regards to FFG, nothing official whatsoever. But over before, will you stop leaning on my chair? You're knocking me all the time. You're not having my chair. So anyway,
I'll
yeah.
know you off it.
Love you.
Love you too, and it's my chair.
Don't fall. Don't fall. Don't fall. But if you do, don't just don't fall. Yeah, just don't fall. Don't fall. You gotta get off the floor now so I can get on with. I am trying to do a live stream here.
And I'm trying to do a live stream with Ozzy.
Oz, go lie down. Go lie down.
Yeah, sorry about that. That's another.
Yeah, sorry
again.
about that, but you know, children and live streams.
Fathers and live streams.
Stop with the back chat, young lady. And get your feet and stuff off my.
It's just comfy. Let Willow stay.
Right, okay, listen, I've got questions to answer. So calm, okay? Willow, calm. Right, so FFG. Now, I reached out before and just got talking with one of the miniature manager there, the guy who runs all the miniatures. Then I managed to bump into him at AdeptCon, and although I didn't manage to find him again, we had a good enough chat that I feel comfortable going down that route. But on top of that, we've done that industry things where we've done the Facebook friends thing. Yeah, so technically I'm like, and this, I have no affiliate, I have no official affiliation with FFG. You know, it's just a friendly thing that I can get in touch with him. Yeah, he's a bit of a Terrainiac himself. He did the terrain in the Star Wars books. You know what I mean? So he knows of what I do and that sort of stuff, and he'd like me to do what you call it, or shall I say, he sort of told me that, Mal, you're not going to get into any trouble if you do some stuff for Legion. Yeah, he says they've got bigger fish to fry, and if I do get in any trouble, I can reach out to him. You know what I mean? Yeah, so as long as I'm not selling stuff for Legion or selling stuff under the Star Wars brand, tutorials I should be fine with. So, yes, that's looking rather good.
Sam's got a question.
Okay, so we've answered Gary's question. How do you scale buildings for different scales? So realistic sandbags are 28 mil and 15 mil. I just use scaling, mate. You know, the 1 to whatever ratio, and then get the measurements and do the maths. I mean, that's what scaling's about. There is no science about it. Scaling is just maths. What are you doing?
Dancing.
Yes, Tam, I've got my new chair. Never worked with animals and children. True. Yeah, and yet I do.
Think about how those vlog families deal with
Willow with the savage banter. Yeah, she's getting to that age. And to be truthful,
You're scared of it.
no, you're learning to be disrespectful and I don't appreciate it. I'm not joking.
Sorry.
Sorry, Dad.
Sorry, Dad.
Good girl. Daddy got to put his foot down occasionally. Right, question. Tips for painting obsidian. Ooh, right, obsidian, beautiful purples. The real tip for painting obsidian is a satin varnish. Yeah, not gloss. Gloss doesn't look right with obsidian. Yeah, not that I've actually seen obsidian, but what I imagine it looks like and what it's represented like. Yeah, but satin varnish over a really deep, rich, bluey purple. Question. How long till you decide to charge her? 1 minute per minute to sit in the chair. She ain't sitting in the chair. It ain't happening.
You spun me around in the chair.
Yeah, that was your one go. You almost broke it.
And it was worth it.
Hello from France. Hello from England, mate. Ninja Castle. Mel streaming from the car park. Thought I'd drop in. Welcome, buddy. Can I get a Willow autograph and a Corbin one and an Aussie one? Pretty please. You're going to have to pay serious money for that, dude.
Not for mine. Corbin, you may have to pay like...
Right, catch you later, Cat. Cat, have a good one, darling.
Bye-bye, Cat.
Cheers, Aaron. Mel from Montreal. Which glue is best to use for static grass? Generally, PVA we use for static grass, but latex glues can work very well. Stay tacky latex glues are great if you put lots of dots of them onto like a clear acetate sheet or greaseproof paper. They use like an electrostatic flocker to make tufts, and then you can peel them off, and they're self-adhesive, and that's how you make self-adhesive tufts. So yeah, start with PVA. Latex glues are slightly better, okay? And stay tacky latex glues are great for tufts, mate. Real obsidian is pure black and is very glossy. It's basically a type of glass. Sometimes there's a chalky inclusions. That's from the people. Let's go and have a look at obsidian.
Minecraft?
No, not Minecraft.
I bet you it looks similar.
I bet you it doesn't. Looks nothing like it.
I am right.
Yeah, I'd still stick with a satin varnish, not a gloss one. I mean, the polished are very glossy. Look at the purple and blues on that one, Wills.
There's an obsidian chair. Do you want to get that one for me? Sorry, me and my dad are mesmerised at smooth obsidian.
Yeah.
Look at that one with flowers in.
I know, they're beautiful, aren't they? They must be the chalky deposits that make them look like flowers.
We
I
just
like
spent a
those.
minute talking about obsidian.
No, I've never actually looked at obsidian before. It's not something or to be truthful, looking at it, I think I have seen obsidian in real life. I just didn't realise it was obsidian. Damn, they make some strange things out of obsidian. All sorts of weird and wonderful things, darling. Let's move on.
Yes, his shoes.
Shoes, yes, shoes. Obsidian and Google Images search. There's some interesting things there, guys.
Can I check it?
You just have with me, darling. There's no need to check it anymore.
Anyone know how to make paper mache hills for terrain? Of this girl.
What's the best way to weather a desert house? Desert dwellings very rarely have weathering. They're mainly dusting. So you want to look at things like dry brushing techniques. You want to also look at things like weathering powders. Yeah, the thing is, for our typical building weathering, Yeah, it involves staining, which is water carrying dirt and that sort of stuff and carrying it down the building and creating stains, much like rust stains. That relies on water. Yeah, in the desert, you don't have that. So you're looking, or not so often. Yeah, and so you're looking more at the sort of effects of sun bleaching. Okay, you're looking at the effects of what sort of sand buildup and dust buildup from sandstorms and that sort of thing for weathering desert buildings. Question: is there a chance of a link for the chair? I could use a new one. This is called an ex-rocker executive chair, Tam. Yeah, I'm not going to give you a link, yeah, because the place I bought it from was an absolute nightmare. Yeah, they first sent me a used one that I had to pay to ship back to them. Yeah, and take to the post office. Yeah, huge box. Yeah, so I'm not going to give you a link, but they do sell them in Argos, mate. Yeah, and Argos is one of the cheapest places I found for them. So go find them there. Wills, put your legs down, darling.
Sorry.
Thank you, Doc. Native Americans made arrowheads out of obsidians. Yeah, seen some of those there. Oh. Pull that off. Almost spoiled one. Might as well do some while I'm here. Yeah, but yeah, it's an ex-rocker executive chair. It's rather comfy. My buttocks have never been so well cushioned.
What the? Don't know if I should be scared.
Mel, I watched one of your videos on hills from expanded polystyrene. I want to be able to make some display level for a glass cabinet. However, I've not got much sand and I haven't got textured paint. I do have tubs of sealant and matte varnish. Are those the tools going to do the job? And if not, how else do you recommend I cover up the styrene? Right, you can throw some of your sand into your paint and that will come up with a textured paint, mate. The other thing is just simply go outside, grab a load of dirt, yeah, bake it in your oven for 200 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes to kill off. Can I speak, please, without you cutting in?
Sorry.
That's very rude, you know, and you keep doing it. One more time, Willow, and you'll have to step back, okay?
Okay.
Right, okay. Right, so as I was saying, 200 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. That'll dry it out and that'll kill off all the bugs and all that sort of stuff in it. After you've done that, knock it through a sieve, yeah, and you'll have all the sand and bits and grits to throw in your paint and then texture up your your actual, your expanded polystyrene, mate. I hope that helps. Mel and his executive buttocks. Well, I am spending most of my time signing.
Trying to figure out where that came from.
They make scalpel blades out of obsidian. Really? That's mad.
The pen's running out.
I think, I don't know if the pen's running out.
Or you just wait it in the air without it for too long.
Yeah, it could be.
Because you were like, yeah.
Could be, darling.
What's the best? Wait.
Go on.
Anyone know how to make paper mache hills or terrain?
Where's that one? Yeah, there's links on the hills playlist, Denel.
Or just listen to me.
Yeah, paper mache hills are covered in there. I did do paper mache, didn't I?
Yeah, we made that like big island made out of paper mache from balloons.
Yeah, we didn't we?
That was funny.
Yeah, that was.
Did we ever deflate those balloons? Or are they still like up?
I don't even know where that piece is.
I think it's in the attic.
I'll be surprised if those balloons are still up, but they'll have deflated and they'll have kept its shell. Oh, that was a bit of an iffy one.
Oh.
You knocked me. Your fault again. Do you know what? I seem to spend most of my streams when you're on it telling you off.
I see no problem with me.
Question: any suggestions for blending terrain pieces of different look styles and materials on the same board? Well, it depends. Yeah, because I mean, you should be able to blend anything on the same board because it should be within a relative setting. Yeah, you're not going to have a desert on one end of the board and snow on the other. You know what I mean? Or I can't envisage a situation. Although one of you will come up with something, I'm sure. But above all, yeah, most of your elements should be pretty close to each other because they'll be in the same thematic setting, same scale. They should be in the same seasonal setting and those sort of things. So blending just is a matter of getting you making mixes to do your transition lines. So yeah, that's all that. If your items are too different to blend, then that tends to suggest that the composition of the board is wrong.
Anyone else having sound difficulties?
No, everyone's saying they're fine. Oh, to be perfectly honest, with regards to, apparently Corbyn's got my signature nailed down, Kez tells me.
So have I.
Why have you got my signature nailed down?
No reason, diary. When I forgot to sign it. Me and Amelia have ideas. I'll sign hers for her. She'll sign mine and we'll act like we're sisters when we have a substitute.
Right, so are you saying you sign your mate's reading diary?
Yeah,
so
read.
that
She doesn't get
right.
in trouble.
And you do that so the teacher can't recognise your signature on Amelia's book, and she signs yours. So
I signed my book as well.
You sign your book as well?
Yeah, I'll go get it.
So what do you need my signature for if you sign it?
Basically, someone just needs to see us read 2 times a week. And Amelia has a close enough signature to Mum's.
That wasn't a good thing to admit to. That really wasn't a good thing to admit to. You got the sniffles? There's something bugging you?
No, I just got a cold.
No, it's not that. You've got a right big bogey up that nostril. I can see
No,
it.
I haven't.
And it's bugging the hell out
No,
of you.
I haven't.
Darling, yeah, it's that big. They can see it.
No, I'm looking at the screen now. Just hope that the teacher isn't what?
Okay. Question: do you know anything about East Indian buildings and terrain? I'm doing an Indian mutiny game. Actually, I know quite a bit about Indian buildings. You know, being half Indian. Bose isn't an English name.
It's Indian.
Just hope the teacher isn't watching. Tell me about it.
She is for fun.
I'm going to grass you up. I'm going to grass you up to your teacher.
I thought it's father and daughter bonding.
It is not father and daughter bonding when you're forging my signature, young lady.
I'm forging Mum's.
Darling, we are talking off camera. Once your mum gets up. In fact, it should be any time now because she's got to go get Corbyn in 10 minutes. And we have you admitting faking signatures on YouTube, Willow. Yes, you've literally, there is recorded evidence. But no, Indian buildings. Right, okay.
Give me 1 minute. I'm going to go bury my diary.
Very greatly, to be truthful. Yeah, and you're going for the Indian Mutiny. When was the Indian Mutiny? In the towns, a lot of them were brick and and sort of like a plaster, very colourful. Yeah, as you move into the villages, you get more closer to the mud huts, if you know what I mean. Wattle and daub, baked clay, that sort of stuff. A lot of thatching. They use a lot of banana leaves for roofs and stuff like that. I mean, it's difficult because, My time in India is modern. You know what I mean? There's still mud butt places around your pools. Are you back? What are you doing now? Oh, take it through there. Don't be a drama. The reading diary. The evidence. Wow, I've got a bit of a rogue. You could have told me I had like Klingon eyebrows, guys. Indian Mutiny was 1857. So yeah, what you call it? They were brick builds because they were using clay. Terracotta features a lot. You know, clay, literally. And the stylized, you know, you've got the Indian arch. The sort of, it comes down from a point and then bulls out and then back in and then straight down. That's a heavy feature. You know what I mean? Far more heavier than, what you call it, than normal arches. Very stylized. Any quick tips for crops or fields? Stumbled across a technique for painting rose embellishments used for cakes and wrapping paper as cabbages. Yeah, that's a common one. What you call it? Carpet tiles, mate. The ridges in carpet tiles. You can cut carpet tiles, blend the edges, spray paint them with a what you call it, a spray primer. Don't try and use brush on paints. You know, dry brush them up, then flock the ridges or add static grass to the ridges, and they look just like crop fields. Yeah, for the Indian stuff, I mean, like everything, Google is going to be your what you call it. I think it's called an OG arch. I didn't know. What do you call it when Mel's daughter fake cries? The weeping willow. Actually, no, yeah, to be truthful, we don't get much of a weeping willow in here. But wind in the willow. That's pretty common. One. Yeah, that's pretty common. Okay.
Good times.
Right, John's asking, for the big Burma builds, aquarium plants, how did you get rid of the strange non-stick gloss coating on the plants? Scrubbing them with washing up liquid isn't cutting it. That gloss coating is partly the way the plant's manufactured. Yeah, the easiest way to do it is just hit it with a watered down wash. Yeah, if you can throw a bit of matting agent in there, matte medium, into your wash, and that will take off that shine completely. Let me sign a couple of these and I'll do another question. Right. Because I've got to get these signed and I might as well use my time because after that, I've got 18,000 words to check through.
Yeah, Dad.
Yeah?
Your signature upside down looks like mine.
That's not my signature, thank God. She's just done my initials. Right, have you ever made...
Mum taught me that. You realise that, right?
Okay. Have you ever made graph tufts with woodland scenics or similar field grass? What glue do you use? Really enjoy your videos and I get a lot out of them. Yeah, tall field grass can be challenging to make, make tufts out of because gluing them to the base, quite honestly, they normally fall apart. There's a couple of options. You can go for hot glue, okay? And hot glue, you know, just hold the bristles in place on top of the hot glue while they set. But what the better option of doing is actually to get all the field grass, either clump it up or pin it between two lollipop sticks, cut it off, and then glue the top either with a super glue or hot glue or a PVA and leave it to dry. Then afterwards, once they're clumped together, you can break them off or cut them off into little clumps, and they're already fixed, placed, and you can glue them to your piece with any glue you really want to. For Graveyard Battleground, would you pin the tombstones and mausoleum, or would you base them separately and match the terrain accordingly? I'd base them separately, mate. I'd do them separately so you can move them about. It'll allow you to expand areas and reduce areas. Yeah. Basing also protects them and ties them into the set. Yeah. Also, that way it's a lot easier to store and that sort of stuff. Also, when it comes to pinning these sort of little things, it starts to get annoying when you've got lots of small features to pin onto a large board. Wills, stop rocking the table. You've literally attached yourself to anything and you're just rocking it. The table.
Can I see if I can rock the TV?
No, I don't want you to see if you can rock the TV. Thank you.
Breaking world records with willow bows.
Breaking legs with willow bows. What would you recommend to hide the small corrugation from Amazon cardboard? The small corrugation. What, you mean inside the cardboard? If I'm making, the only time I really use corrugated cardboard is what sometimes as a quick fix base. And in that situation, yeah, I normally just hide the areas with filler, but you can just get like paper tape and just tape over them. I've seen people run PVA down them as well to seal them off. Not sure how well that would work though. Base separated, understood. No worries, Marcus. Glad I could help, bud. Hey, James. Let's sign this one.
Wait, didn't you get a 64 pack of green Sharpies?
No, I got a 12 pack of green Sharpies.
Doesn't make the situation any better, Dad.
Don't care. What does it matter whether I've got 64 or 12?
No, I mean, like, why just green Sharpies?
Oh, James is based in 74 Cavalry for the Waterloo weekend. Nice one. I saw the map of that. That looks brilliant. Right. Yeah, I'm using it as a base, like the corrugation. It's quite obvious, but it's only like 5 mil. I tried to use thin strips of paper, but it didn't work well. If you're using it as a base, yeah, just throw some filler in it, mate. I think it's the Let's Makes playlist. Yeah, there's 4 easy bases, of which one of them is corrugated cardboard, and I show how to disguise it and solid it up. Yeah, so there's a video there for you. I'm looking forward to getting back to doing terrain videos. I'm enjoying the book, and you know what I mean, but I do miss doing my videos.
They're having a conversation in a conversation.
Well, yeah, they do. That's quite normal. I'll do that for now. That's enough for now. I'm getting through them. I don't know how many I've done.
Do you want me to count?
No, their blocks are 300 and I've got that lot on top of it. So probably about 650 so far. Right. Any more questions for me, folks?
Wait, why do you close that down now?
Actually, yeah, there's no point leaving the question doc open, is there?
Let's just look at some more obsidian.
There you go. Dates.
My face looks so bright.
Your face looks so bright, does it? Right. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, well, way back when people who were streaming treated it much like a TV show and didn't talk to their viewers.
So my school life is a TV show.
Your school life is a TV show, darling.
And now he's making me rock him.
Uh,
He's going to shout at me in 5 seconds.
I'm not. I'm pulling you in. Question, what's the best way of removing shine from clear acrylic bases? Hit them with a matte varnish, spray matte varnish, mate. They'll still be clear, they'll just won't shine. Great video posted the other day on tabletop. It brought me to your channel. Nice one, dude. I haven't seen it, but nice one. Yes, these very matte varnish. Yeah, it looks awesome, Mel. There's a few choice words as I rush to get these done, though. I bet, mate, I bet. I mean, it's a huge board for that Waterloo thing. It's in all over the Facebook.
Dad, question. If you don't know much about Indian buildings, you do know about jungle stuff.
What's the easiest way to make a jungle board? Mix herbs and aquarium plants, mate. Go check out my Burma build. Plenty of stuff for you there. And I do know quite a lot about Indian buildings, just not from the mutiny.
Oh, I have a question. What cheap version of products do you prefer?
To more expensive ones.
PVA glue.
In fact, everything. To be perfectly honest.
PVA glue.
Yeah, actually, no, I buy good PVA. I buy industrial PVA from a PVA. But generally, yeah, I will always choose, the cheaper products over named ones and stuff like that. Yeah. The only time that I go for the more expensive products is when I'm doing a job where I have to really be able to rely on the results. You know what I mean? In which case, that's the time that I go for. That's the time when I go for proper products. But this is the time that Willow goes to bed.
No, I have half an hour.
No, you're yawning already. You can go get a drink and you can go and relax because you look knackered. Okay. Come on, darling, you are knackered. Look at those eyes. Right, just give me 1 second because I also need to shout the wife. Kaz, you getting Corbin? And it's spicy. I am streaming live. Before you run down in your pants.
Hello there.
It literally took you how long? Right, water down PVA to hold down. All right, okay. Right, how much are you, young lady?
Signing things.
I'm getting there. I've done another 300. YouTube, Restream's been playing up tonight, so I've had to go for a backup stream. We've got a good 70, 80 people watching, so most people have come across, but it's just been a nightmare.
What's going on with YouTube?
I don't. It's not YouTube. It was Restream this time.
What's Restream? Is that one that you do over this podcast?
That's the one that splits my stream to like Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. But I was going to, and I was getting 502 bad gateway. You know the area when you can't even get to the website.
Yeah.
So I had the right palaver. Sorry, guys. Household discussion. You know what I mean? Yeah. So. Right. Do you ever game in pulp genre? Not really, no. I don't game enough, to be truthful. I'm certainly not gaming enough whilst I'm writing this lot. I'm reviewing this lot. Right, come on, throw some questions at me, folksicles. Keep me going. We're an hour in. Unless you want me to quit now and go back to watching me proofreading.
Are you sure about that?
I'm going to play some Hero Quest on Saturday. Hero Quest's a cracking game. Yeah, until one of your characters gets the spear where you can attack diagonally. And then you get this weird setup where, you know, everyone you just win every combat by hiding behind a door and watch like attacking diagonally. What's the best option to build a full board side of beach? Or was it? Oh, didn't you want to finish that for me, dude? Do you play D&D? No, I don't. Yeah. The reason I don't play D&D is I can't get into the storytelling side of it. I see it as like a logic problem. Yeah. Now, that being said, I've only done a couple of sessions, and that might be, you know, down to the actual.
What's it like a riddle?
No, more like a problem to be solved rather than a story to be played. Right, I have one 550 scale Viking ship that I'm going to use for terrain. How to base it for scatter terrain, since the model has an open deck and draft. I don't know what draft means because I don't know my ships. But if I was to base a model, okay, for terrain, then what I'd do is I'd mount it on some sort of plastic card or 3mm, what you call it, EPVC foam board. And then I'd extend the base wide enough for it to be the foam waves. Yeah.
Dad,
Yes.
do you think people would buy these tattoos?
I think your friends will buy those tattoos when you do them at the school commerce day. I don't think this lot will. Also, it's illegal for you to actually tattoo under the Tattoo Act.
I mean, like the carbon paper thing.
I don't think that. I think your school. Right, just stop. You're carrying a laptop, darling. Let me open the door.
You are kidding me.
Is it your gang?
Oh, damn it. My gang's calling me.
The gang's calling her.
Mouse and Daisy.
Right, shoot, scoot. Take it in there. Shut the door behind you. I'll tell you what, folks. Kids. Right. So yeah, with regards to the idea of basing boats and stuff like that, whenever I've thought about it, I've always thought the best way to do it would be to represent the wake and the break, or the waves breaking of the boat, because that way you can put it anywhere and it'll still look right. And that way you can concentrate on just the white froth rather than the color of the ocean, which means you can place it on different colored pieces.
Dad, you know a mouse?
Should you be telling me this while I'm streaming?
Yeah.
Okay.
She had the paramedics come over to her house.
What, after that fall? Is she all right?
Her hips.
What?
She had dislocated hips when she was born, so they're really fragile.
So what did she say? Is she at home? Is she what?
She's at home and they're putting some anesthetics on her or something like that.
Anesthetics?
Yeah.
All right, they'll be giving her some medication gel to make her hips feel a bit better.
Oh, okay.
All right, don't worry. She'll be in school tomorrow. She might have a day off, but she's fine. If she was ill, they would have taken her to hospital. So don't worry, darling. Okay?
All right.
They wouldn't be letting her WhatsApp you with it. Daddy duties. Look at the preview. Is the best option to build a full board side of beach, or is there the other way of doing it? If you talk about a beach head, you can either make like beach pieces, yeah, much like my trench system, modular, but essentially a slope, yeah, that you can then place on, say, a blue board, or you can place on a battle mat to represent the ocean, or you can make ocean boards. Ocean boards are a lot more work, yeah, but damn, they look good. I didn't say, I mean the hull goes below the water. Right, I'd cut it off, mate. I'd cut the whole off. Put it on a sander, belt sander. Zzz. Yeah, then fake a deck in it. Simple as that. The only other option is actually doing an incredibly deep resin pour, yeah, and embedding the boat in it, not encapsulating it, but sitting in it, yeah, so it's below the water line, but then its position is going to be fixed on that board. Do you like football? I don't follow it now anymore, to be truthful. I mean, back in the day when I was a physio, I was a FA licensed physio. Yeah, I've worked at Crewe, Alex, Port Vale, as a physiotherapist. I trained at Lillyshaw over the 2-year course. And I got disillusioned with football. Yeah. Just the footballers themselves. Didn't give a damn about the fans. I mean, Friday night, no worries about hitting Alderley Edge, hitting the Crystal, because it's a champagne that doesn't give you a hangover. Go kick the ball about. They didn't care if they won or lost because they got paid a bloody fortune either way. So to be truthful, I stopped following football. Yeah. And remember, this is as someone who sat in the dugout, in Premiership. I was only at Stoke for a very short time. I was at Stoke at the time when when the coaches thought it would be good. At Stoke, they had a really big problem with ankle problems, repeated ankle injuries. Yeah. And what they figured was they needed they needed to strengthen up all the footballers' ankles. Yeah, so they reached out to I think it was Loughborough, yeah, for an activity, yeah, that would strengthen all the footballers' ankles that they could include into the training. And Loughborough went, we've got the perfect activity. It's proven beyond everything to vastly strengthen ankles. Yeah, and Stoke were all over it. And they said, we'll send an instructor down. They sent an instructor down. It was a bloody ballet instructor. You got the lads, Pip. I'll tell you, there was a professor there and everything. Yeah, the guys from Loughborough were deadly serious. I think it lasted about 2 sessions before it got canned off because the local press found out about it and they just didn't live it down for ages. Absolutely ages. I mean, Loughborough didn't tell them what the activity was. They just turned up with the ballets. And up on your toes. The only time these lads go up on their toes is for header. Back in the day when Bobby Charlton was playing, when was it? I was 24? 23, 24? So, coming up on the millennium, I think. I want to make my own neon-coloured flock for some Legion terrain ideas. What do I need and how do I make? First off, don't bother. Yeah, flock comes from the automotive industry. Yeah, and so you can actually buy static grass in pretty much every colour under the sun, including neon colours. Okay, just in bulk already. Have a look at a site called flocking.biz. Yeah, there'll be other supplies, but if you look if you Google search, yeah, automotive flocking supplies, yeah, you'll find loads of companies that sell big bags for next to nothing of all sorts of different colors. And basically, all the scenic companies, they buy a couple of greens, a yellow, and a red, and then throw it in various mixes, yeah, to get your green static grass. You know what I mean? More yellows for for summer, lighter greens for for spring, more reds for autumn, and then white fiber if you want to do like a snowy version, yeah, and have a frosty looking ground cover. Yeah, but you can buy them all individually from automotive flocking supplies. I use a company called flocking.biz. Let's have a look what colours they've got. Products, don't buy your flockers, okay, from automotive, because they are seriously expensive. Yeah, Fabricoat, Micro Flocker, Aero Flocker, Turbo Flocker. There's a lot of flocking going on. Flocking production lines, flock adhesives, nylon flock. That's the stuff we need. Right there. Where's their colour chart? Okay. Right. I don't think I can display this. I can't display the image. But I'm going literally on that flocking.biz site. I'm looking at it, and the image under their section, which is nylon flock fibers. Yeah, it's all neon colors, neon blues, greens, yellows, purples, reds, plus all the usual desaturated greens and dark greens that we use. So don't make it. Just Google automotive flock supplies or flocking supplies. Right. He just looks that old. A side effect of raising Willow and Corbin. True that. Very true. The grey came when the kids came. Question, how would you blend scatter terrain onto a fox fur mat? Would you use scraps of fur on the scatter, or would static grass work better on the scatter? Ah, right. Truthfully, I get 2 fox fur mats. Yeah, and then what I do is wherever scatter base I wanted to make, I'd coat that with the fur, shave it for all the details I want to put on it, and then that way, if I put it on a fur mat, I've got the fur matching the fur, because the fur that's underneath it will just get flattened. I don't think you can realistically pull off, blending as a scatter piece being dropped onto a teddy bear fur mat. That's going to be a sharp, defining edge if you use anything but teddy bear fur. You know what I mean? Even if you try and make it irregular. So I actually think the better way to do it would be get 2 pieces of teddy bear fur and actually, once you've got your scatter bases, mount teddy bear fur on top of them, clean out, because that way you can cut it down, you can make it irregular and all that sort of stuff, but put your terrain in the middle. But that way at the edges, you still have the same teddy bear fur as your actual piece, which means you can drop it straight down and just sort of like brush it a little to sort of blend the edges. And I think that's the better way of going about that task, mate. I practice ballet. I have calves like oak trunks. I'm not surprised. I mean, I remember watching it when I was training to be a physio. Yeah, up at Lillyshaw. At Lillyshaw is like a national sports training centre. Yeah, and it's the home of the FA. It's the home of where they teach all the FA coaching. It's the home for the FA, the Football Association, under 18s England team. It's the home of of the Football Association Rehabilitation Centre, where like stars go to be rehabilitated. And the reason for that is it's also home for the Football Association Medical Education Centre, which is where I trained. But Lillyshaw, is also home for the British Olympic gymnastics team. Yeah. And what we used to do was we used to go and we used to go in the morning before we'd have breakfast and watch them do their warm-ups in their gymnasium, because they'd have like a viewing gallery. Yeah, and it was right across the courtyard from the restaurant where we used to have breakfast before lessons. So you always used to go in there in the morning if you were up and watch the gymnasts warm up. And but Jesus, when you look at their warm-up and what they put their bodies through, and then you look at how the footballers complain when you used to run them around for 15 minutes before a game. Shocking ain't the word. Miniature Misfits. Well, that's cheap. Nice heads up. Thank you. I'm assuming that's on the flocking. Yes, it is. That's why if you're serious in doing a lot of this sort of static grass stuff, you're better off buying your own bags from, the supplies and mixing up your own blends. Could you do a medieval building? Yeah, I've done tons. I'm not going, well, I am doing a medieval building kind of ish, but that'll be for the book. Mel, on your idea of RFID activation functioning board components, I had a toy castle that used indents on the bottom of the knight's feet pressed into buttons. A low-tech version of your idea? Yeah, things like that work, but the problem is then you essentially have a nipple on the base of your model that needs to press into the indent, which means it isn't going to stand flat. And what I don't want to do is go around telling everyone that you've got to add nipples to all the bottom of your models if you want to play on this board and open that door. So we need something that's a little bit more low profile. Magnets can work as well. No worries, Spencer. Glad it helps. Ballet and dance are, in general, is great for sword fighters. I try to get all my students to dance too, if nothing else at home alone. I'm not going to argue. As a physiotherapist, great all-round exercise. Swimming's another good one. Swimming's the one activity that literally does use pretty much every muscle, in your body. How about a literal pressure plate? You could do, but it'd need to be fine, wouldn't it? I think it would have to be a pretty strong hair trigger, to be truthful. I still think some sort of technology, electronic-wise, is the way to go, rather than mechanical. But like I say, for that project, I'm happy let's just step back a little. I don't need to deal with that for a long time yet. Like an infrared laser. Well, breaking a beam would work, wouldn't it? Breaking an infrared laser beam. All that requires is an infrared LED and an infrared receiver, and that's pretty easy to wire up. I remember doing that. Hey, dude. I remember doing that when I was doing CDT. How was it?
Good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Lesson went well.
Yeah. What did you do? Another lesson?
Yeah, I do it every Thursday, and then I've got one.
So what was your lesson this time on?
Map reading, navigation.
Map reading, navigation.
Oh, teaching basics and learning. You get one thing wrong and stare at you.
No, don't get anything wrong, mate.
Like, yeah, you like they've got you, they didn't know anything. And then when you like do something wrong, they give you the evilest look.
Yeah, but that's because they have confidence and you're going to explain and you know what the things are. And when you do something wrong, they suddenly have doubt of whether you know what you're talking about.
I didn't know what public convenience was.
You didn't know what a public convenience was?
Some guy said it was a toilet. I was like, no, it is not. And yeah, it is. I guess it is.
Yes, it is a public convenience.
Okay.
Go on, lad. Electricity conducting paint, that could work. If I recall, there will be some proper water videos coming down the road. Correct? Seems tricky? Yeah. Water's a big one for this year. Oh, so's the book. Hello, you.
Hey,
Mel, the idea is to have only some of your models to have the indents because only those models have the clearance codes. Even so, you're talking about quite a large change to a model. I mean, it's certainly doable and that sort of stuff, but it's something we need to look at. And right now, I don't need to concentrate on it, if you know what I mean. And navigation, the art of not letting the officer have the map. Most dangerous thing in the British Army, an officer with a map, mate.
Did you get me a message about Des?
Yeah, I did. He's done well. Made my first wire tree last night watching you. Nice one, buddy. UV resins. No, I've not messed with them, but I've seen them.
I know.
Hey. Right. I think we're ticking along, so I'm going to call it now because I'm just answering God questions, and I think we've done a good stream. And a compass. True Tam. So listen, guys. Apologies for the messing around at the start of the stream and only going out on YouTube. It's been a bit of a nightmare these past couple of weeks. I will test it all before the Sunday stream and make sure that that it is working before Sunday. And if it isn't, I'll put out notices on all the relevant platforms to make sure you know where I'm streaming and how I'm streaming, so you can reach out to me and follow along. Once again, we're in the hands of, the internet gods here. Well, apologies once again for the channel being quiet. I'm up to here in the book, guys, and I know there's a lot of people who put money on the line for it, so I have to make it my first priority. That being said, I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, so don't worry, things will get back to normal soon enough. Yeah, and we'll get cracked on. In the meantime, we will crack on. All the best. Yeah, Terra. Right, I've not used this before. How do you end it? Yeah. Bye. Yes, I do want to end. Bye.